Welcome back, hunters. This channel is for the hunters who satisfy their hunger by hunting their dreams. This is the second episode of SQL for data analytics. Before getting into the video, please do subscribe, like, and tap on the bell icon to get all updates. You can get the notes from that is the presentation in the description box below. Okay, it's been too late. Let's start the video. Uh, in SQL, there are 5 types of queries. The first one is DDL, Data Definition Language. Here we create, alter and drop, which means delete the tables. And the second one is Data Manipulation Language. Here we insert, update, delete the contents, that is the records in the already created tables by using the data definition language. Now the third one is Data Query Language. Here we select, order by, group by. We use these commands in this data query language, DQL. The fourth one is DCL, data control language. Here we use commands like grant, revoke, all these things. And the fifth one is TCC, transactional control commands. These are the 5 SQL queries. 5 types of SQL queries: DDL, DML, DQL, DCL, TCC. Now this is a PostgreSQL which we are going to learn, which is an advanced object relational database management system that supports an extended subset of SQL standard, including transactions, foreign keys, subqueries, triggers, user-defined types and functions. This PostgreSQL is used by many companies like Instagram, Netflix, Instacart, Spotify, Uber Technologies, Reddit. It is an advanced level of SQL. Why PostgreSQL? It is an open source. We can download freely from the internet. Now the second one is complete ACID compliance. I'll tell you about this in the coming videos. Comprehensive documentation and active discussion forums. The PostgreSQL performance is utilized best in systems requiring execution of complex queries. We can give complex queries in this PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL is best suited for data warehousing and data analysis applications that require fast read-write speeds. Supported by all major cloud service providers like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. These are the reasons why we use PostgreSQL rather than MySQL or anything else. Now let's see some of the basic commands in this PostgreSQL. The first and most very basic syntax is command in SQL is to create a table. sorry about that. To create a table, we use the command create table for creating a table. We use this command. This is a command create table, and this is a table name which we are going to give. Let's say the customer data. The customer data is a table name, and in that table the customer details will be there. The first column, in that customer table, the first column which we call attribute, first attribute. Column heading, which is the customer name, and describing here the data type of the column 1, whether it is a numerical or sorry about that, variable, character. And if the first column do have any constraints like whether it should be a unique, let's say we give a customer ID in this first column, and we here data type is numerical, and the constraint we should keep is unique, because each customer should have a separate ID, no repeating IDs. That's why we say that unique constraint we use there. And the second column, let's say it is a the second column is a customer name. The data type is varchar, variable character, and the constraint is there will be no constraints. If they do, then we have to mention. Till like this we fill all columns of the tables. and table constraints. And at last, we should use a close parenthesis and a semicolon to execute this syntax. This is a very basic command everybody should know before getting into SQL. It is the data definition language command, DDL. Now let's see what are constraints available we have in this SQL. Not null, which means there should be no null values in that column. Default constraint provides a default value for a column when none is specified. When there is no value specified by the user, then it will take a default value. Unique constant ensures that all the values in a column are different. I have said row in the customer ID, which we give a number that should be unique. Check constraint. Make sure that all values in a column satisfy certain criteria. If we give a separate certain criteria to a column, then if we use this check constraint, it satisfies a certain criteria we gave. The second last is primary key constraint, used to uniquely identify a row in the table. Foreign key constraint, the last one, used to ensure referential integrity of the data. Now let's look about the keys. A primary key is used to uniquely identify each row in a table. A primary key can consist of one or more columns on a table. When multiple columns are used as a primary key, they are called as a composite key. A foreign key is a column that references a column of another table. The purpose of the foreign key is to ensure referential integrity of the data. Look at here. If in this order table, order ID is a primary key and the customer ID is a foreign key, which means this customer ID is taken from this customer table, which is a primary key. From this customer table, here in the order table, it takes the customer ID from this customer table, which is known as foreign key, and here the customer ID is primary key. I hope you get it, and if you don't, please mention in the comment box. Data types. Let's look at the data types we have in this SQL. Numeric. This type of data source stores numeric values. Following data types fall in this category: integer, float, real numbers, numeric or decimal. The second one is character string. This type of data source character values. The two common types are char, which is character, and varchar, which is variable character. Date time. This type of data allows us to store date or date time in a database table.